What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe. So, the financials, the Microsoft financials came out. And it seems that they making money, you know. By all accounts, every number that they put out was better than the last. Improvement, if you will. Some by a little, some by a lot. Now, what the ponies and the donkey unicorns will focus on, as they always do, is consoles, hardware, right? And so it was down 29%, right? And the thing is, the last time that they said it was down, I guess it was last quarter, it was at 53% or something. So it's almost cut in half. So, which is that's a good trend, trending less loss, just less downturn. But that's the thing about that, right? 29% down on hardware, right? Year over year or whatever it is, quarter over quarter. I don't know how to do it. But anyway, the point is, here's the thing. With that loss comes oodles and oodles of money. So you would think that, oh my gosh, they're down, hardware is down, they're losing money, they're not making no money. That's not what's happening. What's happening is the hardware is down and they're still making money, which means that hardware isn't what makes these companies money. Listen, we know this. People with brain cells know this. The ponies and the donkey unicorns, maybe they know it, but they just want to ignore it. They just don't. They're in denial, so they don't want. No, that's the only metric that we have, so it has to be. That's where Sony makes all their money. No, it's not. It's not where they make all their money. They make all their money in insurance. Actually, I don't know where they make most of their money. I'm not sure. Is it movies? Can't be, because their movies are horrible. Venom: The Last Dance. I heard that was really bad. Well, you know what? Take that with a grain of salt, because I watched Angry Joe's. Angry Joe hates everything. That's why he's angry. So, whatever. But anyway, the point is, Xbox 29% down on hardware sales or whatever. Yet and still, 63% up on revenue of, I guess, games and services, something like that. I think it's 63, 40 here, it's 60 here, da da da. I'm like, I was listening to them rattle off all the percentages, and that's the thing about, I hate percentages because we don't actually know the actual number, but whatever. They do that for the investors and say, we're up 63%, boop, boop, boop. Right? And then people say, oh, but that's all Call of Duty. No. If you subtract the Call of Duty, 61%, I think. It was 8%. Without Call of Duty's numbers, it was 8% going up. That's good for not having Call of Duty, I mean, it's good for them just beginning their cycle of having games steadily. We thought this year would be it, but stuff got pushed back and stuff, and that's fine. But we're looking at the future, and it's like, there's so many games that it's gonna be pretty nice. That's all I know. In my mind, I got so many games I'm gonna play. So I'm looking at the Donkey Unicorns. I see like clips of Dreamcast guy, back in the Creamcast guy. What did I call him before? I don't even remember. I need to change his name because he's desecrating the Dreamcast name. So I got to figure something else out for him. I mean, he's got a jillion names out there, but Driftcast guy, I don't know, whatever. Griftcast guy. But so he's on his doom and gloom tour, and he's forever, Call of Duty. There's so many like idiots. I'll just call them that, just idiots out there saying, oh, Call of Duty is Game Pass is gonna ruin Call of Duty. Ain't gonna be no sales. Boo, 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 boo. Now Sachi is like, yeah, I mean, record sales, record number of players, record number of Game Pass. This was a confusing thing, he said. A record number of Game Pass add-ons or something like that. So I was like, wait, does that mean that there's sub numbers, or is that people who bought the special edition through Game Pass? I'm confused on that. Either way, it's cool. But, so yeah. And he just kept, I was listening to the whole thing, and I was like, That's like all, it was all 100% positive. If you go from quarter to quarter, all 100% positive. And I'm like, wow. And I'm looking at what Microsoft is doing, what Xbox is doing, Call of Duty and all their games and stuff. And I'm looking over to Sony at PlayStation, and I'm like, they just closed down they just fired a bunch of people. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're saying, yeah, we still gonna do this games of service. I'm like, y'all are not doing, y'all are like 5-0 or 0-5. 5-0. Yeah, 0-5. I mean, they canceled like 3, right? Concord failed right out the gate, and then they canceled like 4. They canceled 3, and then they canceled 1 way before the deviation joint. So it's like, y'all are 0-5 with these games this generation. Y'all still gonna try. Okay. I mean, it would be better if you find a game that's already popular and you buy it. That way you ain't gotta do none of the work, less risk, because y'all are risk averse. Y'all don't want to take no chances. And then when you do take a chance, it's not a smart chance. It's just like, yeah, let's throw money at stuff and say it's good and people will buy it. Like, no, that's not how it works, Herman Holtz. It's not. You can say it's your baby all you want. Ain't nobody else's baby. You keep that baby. You keep the baby. You keep the bath water. You keep the bathtub with the ring around it. You keep all that. Because we don't want it. We don't want it. And next Star Wars? I mean, that's bad because Star Wars isn't what it used to be. Like, Star Wars was the thing back, like Return of the Jedi just came out. Yo, Star Wars is dope. Even like the prequel was like better. Not bad, but they were bad to me. But for little kids, it was dope. But now Star Wars is like after the Acolyte, it's like, what are y'all doing? I didn't hate the Acolyte, but I can see how the goofy parts of it. I was like, they're twins, but they're not twins. If they're Force twins, why they look a little different? They're not like actual. I mean, they are. I believe they are sisters in real life, twin sisters, but they're fraternal twins, they're not identical twins. But I would assume, okay, that's what you get for something. I guess when you mess with the Force, you don't get identical twins. You just get twins. You get frat twins. I don't know. Look, anyway, let's talk about the Acolyte. Rip Acolyte, rip Concord ×2. How many times we got buried this game? Come on, man. I'm tired. Man. Look, I'm not making stuff. I'm not making up false news. The news has consistently been bad for PlayStation. The bright spot in the past couple of years, I would say, or the past year at least, was Astrobot. Helldivers 2 as well. Helldivers 2 too. But that's like, zeitgeist has dried up on that. Nobody's talking about Helldivers because they ruined that game, because they tried to, you gotta sign up for that whole you gotta sign up for a PlayStation, whatever, PlayStation Plus or PlayStation ID or whatever, login. That you just might as well, not put it on PC if you want to. You want money, but you're not willing to do the things you need to do to get money. You're trying to manipulate the industry to bend to what you want. That's not how the industry works. You got to bend to what the customers want. The customers don't want to sign up to your goofy subscription, even though it's free. They said, I'm like, why do I need a PSN ID? I don't want trophies. I just want to play the game. I'm going to play it on Steam. Steam has achievements. I don't need your stupid trophy. See what I'm saying? Somebody needs to figure it out. Somebody needs to figure out a way to, if you're on Steam and you're playing a PlayStation game, that it counts towards MAUs. But I don't think they can track that without it being linked to PlayStation Network. But there should be a way to do it, right? I mean, I did it when I signed up for, what was I playing? Hogwarts Legacy. And a lot, like even that and Call of Duty, like, sign up for Battle.net. And I'm like, no, I'm not signing up for Battle.net. Play offline. Boom, right? But Hogwarts is like, do a thing. Sign in with this and that. And I signed in because the Warner Brothers account. It's basically the same thing, but you got to do it on a console. Or there's probably a way to not do it, but whatever. I just did it. Blah, blah, blah. Sign in with the Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. Easy. I think I did Google or something. I don't remember. I was like, yeah, sign in. I don't care. Whatever. And so, I mean, I get it as a business, but I'm not a PC gamer, so I'm not in the ecosystem like that. But I understand the mentality where it's like, yo, we could steal your game. We could literally steal your game and do whatever the hell we want. We could mod it to do whatever we want. You should not be messing with us. You should be making it easy enough for us to do what we want to do with these games, but they're not doing that. They're trying to bend it, and it's not working. They're learning. No, I'm not gonna say they're learning, because Sony's not learning. Sony's gonna do what they're gonna do. They have their MO, or they have their, I don't know, their charter or whatever. They have their list of demands. They have their goals that they want to achieve as far as PC goes, and they're trying to make it something that it is not, and it's not gonna work. So eventually they'll realize. Okay, say if they don't realize, then we can say Sony's just gonna be a little niche studio hardware manufacturer that's gonna. I believe that the hardware will start to diminish, the quality of it. I mean, it has already. I think it will diminish further, and the quality of the games are definitely gonna get smaller and diminish slightly, I would say, just to accommodate what they need to do for budgets. And yeah, they can't afford to keep doing what they've been doing. And it's so, I don't understand why they can't see that you know, this is not how you do it. It's like they make Concord, and I'm like, don't you listen? I mean, y'all fired Sean Layden. Probably because he said that we can't afford to do these games, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, no, you got to get out of here. We're going to keep doing that, right? Sean Layden was right. As much as I'm not going to say I hate him, but I don't know. He kind of rubs me the wrong way sometimes. But listening to what he had said as far as these budgets being too big, and, you know, I've always said that PlayStation/Sony has been creatively bankrupt for a long time. And this is proof. I mean, these actions are proof positive. Concord, the death of Concord, what Concord was, is proof of that statement. And so I'm looking at the future games, and I'm like, how are they going to prove me wrong? How are they going to prove me that, oh, they have creative ideas now? They don't, because they're too scared to do anything. They're too scared to be risky. They're too scared to go out there and like, yo, this is a brand new game. It's pretty dope. It's flies. We got some ideas. We're gonna throw them in there. Yeah, they're too scared. They're so involved and they're so busy trying to make every game beautiful. Look at those graphics. They forget that the gameplay needs to be good too. Like I always said, Concord looked good, technically, artistically, hot trash garbage. So you can make it as pretty as you want to. Don't mean it's fun. Don't mean people will play it. Concord, biggest failure in video game history. We are living history as we speak. History is being made in video games. Y'all don't realize it, but it is. I don't think we will see a greater failure than Concord. I don't think I'll see it in my lifetime. I don't think so. Because it takes a special type of buffoonery. No, it takes a special type of, I want to say the word, but I'm not going to say it. Just ineptness got leaves flying. And that, see, I'm trying to say the words, and Herman Hulse was throwing nature at me. It just takes a certain level of just inadequate intelligence or being able to read the room to do what happened to Concord, like the toxic positivity. I think that's the main thing. But even that, like, even if they had somebody in there saying, yo, this is kind of whack, yo, these designs is kind of trash, even if someone went and said that, is Herman Hulse or the head of graphics or whatever, design, costume design or character design, are they willing to take feedback? and say, ah, yeah, maybe you're right. Let me do some alternates real quick. You know, that's a problem. If you got toxic positivity, it's an oxymoron, but it's not, because it causes the death of video games. So, you know, when you're making something in vacuum and you think it's all, oh, this is the best. Like if I'm doing the music, right? Oh, this is the best song ever, and me and my mama is the only one who heard it, and my daddy, he heard it too. Yeah. And then it's like, you play it for somebody, it's like, yeah, that's kind of whack. It's like, wait, my mama said it was good. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I'm sure your mama thinks you're the best, my boy. But so you need feedback from outside, you know, third parties, if you will, impartial, unbiased ears and eyes and voices. Because if you don't have that, then what's the point? You know, I mean, unless you're a freaking genius and you just know, ooh, there's a rainbow. That's cool. Anyway, I'm not going to show you the rainbow. It's all mine. It's all my rainbow. So, yeah, the failure of Concord is complete, and the success that Xbox is having is not going over well with the ponies and the donkey unicorns. And they're trying their best to say anything that they can to downplay the success. But it's all BS. It's all shite. And it doesn't matter what they say, because the success of Xbox, the success of Microsoft / Xbox in the video game space is going to ultimately give us gamers, us Xbox players, more games, better games. And yes, maybe the game will be on PlayStation as well. So, you know what that means? More money. You know what that means? More games. So it's like there's like there's no losing scenario and situation in what Microsoft is doing. A lot of gamers just don't like it because they're so set in the old ways of what console warring was. And now it's about, you know, they say content war. And sure, I mean, it's always been that anyway. But now more so than ever, you look at what PlayStation is offering you as far as content. And you look at what Xbox is offering you as far as content. And you're like, that's no comparison, right? Last thing. The director of the upcoming game Wolverine for PlayStation by Insomniac has left. Well, he left in the summer, but he left. I'm like, that's not a good look for. And that's why I was watching Destin's video, and he said, "Oh, I looked at this guy, and he said he's a really big fan of Wolverine." I was like, "Okay, that's bad." Actually, I do remember about a story about that, but that's bad because you want people who are fans of subject to make that, whether it's a movie, game, whatever. You want the fans, diehard fans who love the character and all that stuff, to be invested, and to make that stuff. Like Ryan Reynolds loves Deadpool. So he did a good job. He's doing, and he's funny too, so that makes sense. So I'm like, okay, you took a uber super Wolverine dude, and he's not there anymore because of creative differences. so they say. And then they say that in the article, and then they say, well, we don't know. They refused to, they didn't have any comment. I'm like, well, we already, because dude said it's because of creative, whatever. So in that, it's like, how are you going to not consolidate, but how are you going to reconcile this? How are you going to take this and say, oh, it's a good look because the people who are in charge now, oh, they made Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's like, okay, that was a good game. Not Wolverine. Wolverine is specific. The reason why Wolverine is cool, the reason why people love Wolverine, including me, is because he's a beast. And the reason why Logan is probably one of the best X-Men movies is because he's a beast. And he is slicing and dicing fools, and they show it all. And what I think, conspiracy theory time. What I think is that the dude who was there, I forgot his name, Bruce something, or I can't remember. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. But I think he was trying to be true to the character and the violence of Wolverine. And I think that the uppers, or the upper peoples at Sony or PlayStation were like, no, he has to be prettier, he has to be taller, like Hugh Jackman, and less blood. Let's turn the blood white. Make them aliens so the blood is green. Make them androids so it's milk instead of blood. I don't know why I have the accent, but maybe because remember, Sony is very much into censoring their games, especially for nudity and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, yeah, this is too violent. Let's take it back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then the director was like, nah, what you talking about? You can snick, let's go. We got sliced heads off and boobies and all that stuff. This game is going to be on that line at AO, you know what I'm saying? But Sony was like, no, we can't do that. It has to be clean for the children's. I think what they're trying to do is capture the same audience as they're trying to capture that Spider-Man audience. That's not going. No, that's not Wolverine. Wolverine is not Spider-Man. You can't do that. You can't be like, yo, Wolverine's cool, yeah, and have little 4-year-olds be like, yeah, Wolverine. No, Wolverine is too violent for little kids. It's young adults. And I think that's where we'll see what they said it was mature or whatever, but I don't know, man. I think he wanted to go in, and that would have been dope, but I don't know if Insomniac has that in them. They're pretty saccharine, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I appreciate hanging out, man. Like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about the money that Microsoft is making, and let me know what you think about the money that Sony is not making. They're losing money. They're firing people. Oh my gosh! You thought the house was burning down over PlayStation? It's burnt. It's already burnt. They escaped down to the bunker and they losing oxygen. They're on life support right now. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's interesting, man. It's interesting. I mean, I would not be surprised if Sony sells PlayStation when they come down, because they lost so much money. Like, think about that. Who would Sony sell PlayStation to? And I know, I mean, like, they used to make money for them, and that's probably why they're still hanging on to them. They're trying to change the business model so that they can get back to that. But like I said, it's going to take them a long time. It's going to take them 10 years to get back. I don't think they could do it. It's going to be not until the next generation, because them putting higher prices on this current generation is not going to do it, because the console sales are slowing down. All these new consoles are coming out. They're going to be left in the dust. They're going to be the only console out there that's on last gen. Everybody else is going to be future. The Switch and Xbox is going to be next gen. Meanwhile, Sony's still on last gen. That's not a good look. And they're not dropping their prices. How's that going to work? That's not. They messed up this. They messed up on so many different levels. It's like they're playing 3D chess, but they're losing on purpose. They're playing 69D chess, but they're losing on purpose. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Till the way.